Keyframes give us much greater control over our video clips in the timeline. So in this example, I've already got a video clip in the timeline. I'm going to select it to make sure it's active, and then over in the source panel I'm going to click on the Effect Controls tab. So we have some controls for this selected video clip. So first of all, I can adjust the scale of the video clip. Currently defaults to 100%. I can click and drag and adjust the scale, but I'm going to keyframe this effect. So I'm going to bring this back to 100% to begin with, and I'm going to drag my player to the beginning of the video clip, and I'm going to place in my first keyframe for the scale option. To place my first keyframe, I click on the pocket watch symbol, and now that has marked a keyframe over here. We have a timeline here in the effects control, which is linked to the timeline in here. We have a playhead in the effects control, which is also linked to the playhead in the timeline down below here. So the first on my scaled keyframes, I'm going to reduce the scale to 50%, press enter, and then I'm going to drag the playhead a little bit along the timeline, and then I'm going to add in my second keyframe. This time I'm going to add keyframes from this point here. You always add your first keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch, and then any additional keyframes you use these buttons here. So I'm going to click to add a keyframe. This is my second keyframe's appeared now. And on my second keyframe, I'm going to bring the scale back up to 100%. And if I click and drag, we can see that effect the keyframes are having. So I'm going to continue putting some more keyframes in here. I'll just add in a second keyframe. I'll just add in a third keyframe, reduce the scale once again. I can also drag the playhead here too. Add in another keyframe, let's bring the scale back up. And now I have a series of keyframes controlling the scale of my video clip. Let's drag that back to the beginning. Let's hit the play button. I can also move these keyframes in this timeline here. I can put a keyframe closer together, and with keyframes closer together, the actions move a lot quicker. In this case, the scaling between the two keyframes, now that they've been moved closer together, will occur a lot quicker. And in contrast, if I move these, the scaling between these two keyframes will move a lot slower. So let's drag the playhead back, hit play. So very slow scaling here, and then it'll get quick again over here. We can, if you want, to remove keyframes. If I add a keyframe in that I don't want, then making sure that my playhead is parked directly on top of it, I can make sure by using these arrow keys to jump backwards and forwards between keyframes. So place the playhead on top of the keyframe, and I can remove it by clicking on the Add or Remove Keyframe button.